Hello everyone. This screencast will include the analysis and critique of an Arcadia Power blog written by Team Arcadia Power addressing LEDs versus their counterpart. In order to understand the audience of this blog post, we must investigate Arcadia Power. We can navigate to the About Us page through the site in order to find the purpose and mission of Arcadia Power, which is to create a 100% renewable energy for the future and to make clean energy an easy choice. Navigating back to the blog post, keeping this in mind, the targeted audience consists of individuals and groups who aim to create a clean world and reduce the carbon footprint. This audience is not limited to these individuals, meaning that the blog post aims to reach and impact as many people as possible. The audience may consist of electricians, engineers, homeowners, business owners, and really anyone who will potentially use a light bulb. With this wide range of audiences, the article is written to assume that the reader knows little to nothing about the subject of light bulbs. The prior knowledge needed to benefit from this article is very basic knowledge of the light bulb and how light bulbs can affect energy usage of your home and business. The audience's reason for reading is to be informed on the best lighting options as it relates to the environment as well as the performance of the bulbs. With this information in mind, the audience can then choose the light bulb which they prefer. It is the obligation of this blog to provide that information. So, moving forward, as we look at the blog post, the first thing you notice is the header. The header contains the Arcadia Power logo in the upper left-hand corner, and then moving to the right, we see that there are 5 main tabs to indicate the main pages on the website. They read Energy, Tips, Tech, Stories, and HQ. And to the right of these is a search bar. The company logo here in the top left header contains a link to the home page and makes for easy site navigation. When the 5 main tabs are clicked, the site navigates you to the specific pages. As seen here, when you click Energy, the Energy page is opened. The web designer could have done a better job here by indicating what page you were on when you were on that page. Here, on the Energy page, the author could have indicated that the Energy page was clicked using some sort of contrasting color. So if we navigate back to the blog post page, once again, looking at the header, we see that the search bar to the far right makes it very easy for site navigation and gives the reader easy access to information. Moving on, below the header, there is the title of the blog post, and underneath the title indicates that the Arcadia Power team wrote the blog post. We see that here. The author does a great job of including 4 graphics with links to Facebook, Twitter, email, and the ability to copy the address. We see those here. This allows for the audience to connect with others and express their opinions on the blog post. Before moving on to the content of the article, let us take a look at the title. It reads, LEDs versus regular light bulbs. Do they really make a difference? Referring to Chapter 6, a title should introduce the subject and purpose of the blog, all while being precise. This title does introduce the subject and includes a purpose. However, I would suggest a few changes. I would suggest that, in order to appear professional, the title is consistent and capitalizes every first letter. I would also suggest that the text is replaced with the following. LEDs versus other light bulbs. Do LEDs make a difference? It is not a huge change, however, I think it is effective. Now we can take a look at the typography and content of the article. The overall setup of the web page is very simple. The author uses 1 column of text with a large margin, as we see. This is consistent throughout the article. The use of 1 column and text with a large margin allows for the reader to easily read the content. However, in my opinion, there is too much white space. This white space can be utilized to create a more effective blog post. The author can use the design principle of repetition inside the margins to highlight important points. This can be more effective considering most people will not actually read the entire article from start to finish Instead, they may look at these margins for important information. One thing the author does well is focus on consistent headers and alignment. The author utilizes chunking to ensure that the audience knows when the subject may change. So here we can see all of the titles are consistent with the text and bold and the size as well. The vocabulary is consistent throughout the entire text and remains fairly colloquial to address the intended audience. Throughout the text, we see several resource links to external sources. The only problem that I see here is that the author fails to consider that some individuals who may come across this content may have some sort of impairment. When the author titles some external links like "Yup" or "This is a real thing," the author is failing to consider these individuals. Through the content, we can see that the author includes a graphic here to show the advantages of LEDs. Here the author uses different colors to show the different contrasts, as well as using green to indicate good. Moving past that graphic, if we scroll all the way to the bottom, we can find that there is a footer. Here the footer contains links to the home page, how it works, and About Us page. This allows for the readers to learn more about the site and the company. Underneath this, we see the copyright and privacy policy, as is common in most websites. And then all the way to the right, we can find the social media links again. These contain Instagram as well. The overall analysis of this page is that the page is set up fairly consistent, however not optimally. The page has some great qualities such as proper chunking and good use of headings, including external features such as web links, and an overall simple design. This being said, the website fails to include user-friendly features like a site map or a back to the top button. I know these are simple, but they make the design intuitive. So the page is simple, yet with focusing on simplicity, the author missed out on the ability to be repetitive in the margins and allow for the information to stick to the reader. When considering the 5 main goals of web design, the author successfully made the information easy to find and understand with the use of external links and a search bar. The structure and hierarchy was very simple and fitting for the blog post. The graphic made the content fairly easy to remember, although with utilizing the margins, this could have been better. However, the author could have improved on creating a good first impression. The page is fairly blank, fairly bland. So the author could have done a better job of having a picture to grasp somebody's attention.